The Japanese are invading the U.S.
I see where people would think that. And
okay, hot topics. This spring is going to be hot. It's going to be on fire. Bankrate is saying that things are going to be low, things are going to be down until February, but the spring will ramp up, and that all of the interest rates are holding at under 7%. What do you think?
I think that's amazing. I think that the rates are probably going to drop a little bit, which I'm very hopeful for. I don't think that the housing market is going to crash. I think we're going to keep being strong. I think whether the rate comes down a little bit or not, I don't know that it's going to make that much of a difference.
But what do you see for the spring? Because I mean,
I
that's
see
the
the
market.
spring blossoming. I think the houses are going to fly off the shelves. I think commercial properties are still going to be selling just like they are now. Office product is a little slow, but we're still doing deals. So I'm not pessimistic. I'm very optimistic about the spring this year.
How long are properties usually on the market? Because I'll tell you where they're going to hold.
Okay, so if you're doing residential today in New Jersey, obviously every market is different. The ones that have less inventory, the properties can go away in 2 or 3 days.
Well.
If it's a great house, if it's priced right. Commercial stuff is taking much longer, but it's still happening. It's really all according to the price point and what type of use that building is. Like warehouses are going in seconds.
So Bankrate isn't distinguishing between residential and commercial, but they're saying that most properties are going to hold at 25 days on market.
Okay,
so
that's fair.
And that's not bad. I mean, if you want to sell something,
I think that's great. You know, I think there's been times when stuff gets off the market much quicker, and there's obviously product that's going to take much longer. So it really depends what it is, depends on the market. If it's priced properly, then it's going to go faster. I always believe in pricing things properly. I don't believe in these people that just throw these numbers out with any scientific evidence or mathematical evidence. Like, show me why it's worth that. Give me comps or tell me what is so special about this property that makes it worth 25% than every comp that's out there.
Right.
Like, give me a reason and then try to market it there. But if you can't come up with that reason, then price it right and move it on. Get it done.
Do you think property prices are going to go up or go down?
Great question. I think the residential prices will probably stay where they are for this spring because I don't see the inventory flooding the market yet. If all of a sudden all the seniors decide to put all their houses on the market and there's a glut in the houses, then yeah, the prices will probably come down. Some of the higher end product, I think the prices are going to come down a little bit there. As far as commercial, those prices definitely have adjusted, but then it also depends on the market. It depends what it is and where it is.
Well, the experts say that it's going to go up 2 to 4%. Okay. So time to put something on the market.
Buy now before
before it goes up.
Before it goes up.
Well, you know what? You were talking about, I know that you've worked with foreign investors from the Philippines, from different places all over the world. The Japanese are invading the U.S. They are buying up everything commercial. Did you know that?
First of all, I love Japanese food. So come on in. We'd love to have as many foreign investors as we can. I love Japanese food. I think that people that work hard for their money, they deserve to invest it in this country. I'm good with that. Do I want our own citizens owning more property? I would love our own citizens to own more property. Like, for instance, in the Philippines, if you're not a citizen, you can't own property.
Really?
So you can own a condo, right? But you can't. So like
you can't own the land.
You can't own the actual land or the building. It would have to be a condo type building, and then you could own units in that. I'm not suggesting that the U.S. do that, but I do love people of our own country owning stuff. I think that's great. But again, having those foreign investments, that's what we're built on. We're built on giving people opportunity, so I'm okay with it.
Well, basically, big foreign companies, Japanese and otherwise, are coming in and they're buying up all of the commercial real estate that was abandoned during the pandemic. So office buildings, obviously not warehouses because they're going really fast, but a lot of the office buildings. I just think it's interesting.
Well, they have the money. They're willing to take the opportunity because, getting these buildings at a discount, there's so many things. You can turn them into residential. You can repurpose them for, smaller office share type spaces, or you can convert them into other different uses like schools or gyms. There's so many things you can do with these buildings, and if the Japanese have the money or the cash to put in and they want to be creative with it, why not? Someone has to do it.
How would you go about not finding a Japanese person, but finding any kind of foreign investor? If I had a building and I was like, I need to unload this, I need it to be liquid, how do I go about finding a foreign person to buy it?
So you want to sell specifically to a foreign person?
Because they have the money, they have cash on hand.
I mean, so let's say we're going to go that route and we're looking for specifically a foreign person to buy it.
An unrealistic thing.
One of the things that I would do is source something in that language. There's all these other countries have different sources where
like news sources.
There's posting boards and there's connectors. There's people over there that are looking for opportunities. So I would have everything translated into that language, whatever country it is, to get it started. And then, it's always great to have someone on your team. So if we're looking for someone if we're trying to sell to Japan specific or China specific, I would have someone on my team that spoke, Japanese or Mandarin or of the like country to get it moving and get those conversations open, because having someone that's on the team that speaks the language, it's going to go so much faster.
And simpler, right? It's going to be easy. Okay, so you have like 1 million doors, right? You own like 1 million doors. And they say that rents are going to go down, that there's a bunch of supply coming out, a lot from the foreign markets coming in and buying up all the office space and converting them, like you said. What are you seeing? Are you seeing that rents are going down?
So I see where people would think that. And again, every market has a different set of rules. The markets that I play in right now, specifically, the rents are going up. If you're in a market that people want to move into, and there's still not a lot of housing going for sale, so rents are still going up where I am. In the areas that I'm specifically working in, residentially, the rents are going up. The commercial rents are going up.
Okay.
And when I buy for me, I always buy in areas that I look at are emerging. So, if this was an area that was already established and the market was to downturn and stores were closing, then rents would be going down. If it was an area that was established and all of a sudden all these new apartment buildings came in and the people didn't want to live in that area, then I could see the apartment pricing coming down. It just depends on where you are.
Well, the experts are saying also that people are just tired of paying exorbitant rents. I mean, and I can understand that. I've seen some young people, like my godchildren, go looking for apartments, and there's no way, and they're living in New York City.
Sure.
But there's no way they can afford a $3,000 studio.
Which means that the lower price stuff the pricing is gonna go higher because
there's no way they can
afford the higher price stuff. So there's always somebody that's going to rent something, and it just depends on what level you're at. If you give a good product, you're going to get a good dollar for it.
How do I find these emerging markets to buy in? What do I do? I look on Google emerging markets?
Well, you just you should figure out where you want to work, right? So I like to work within 30 minutes to an hour of where I live. So I look at the markets in that area, stuff that I can drive to. I don't like to own stuff that's hours away or flights away because I can't manage it with my own hands. I have to hire a third party. I don't like hiring third party managers. I can have them to help me, but I still want to be able to touch and feel and see what I'm doing.
You're a creator like that.
I like to have my own, I like to be my own boots on the ground as opposed to having others. At some point in life, that may change. If I move to Florida, I may start investing in Florida. And then I may obviously not be around New Jersey to check on what I have. So it really depends. If you're starting out, I say you start locally where you can actually be involved in what you're doing because it's going to give you a better result.
So, I like my celebrity stuff. And the Queen Bee and her hubby Jay-Z just bought a house for a steal. $190 million. What do you think about that?
I think more power to them. I would do the same thing if I was them.
It's 42,000 square feet.
I'd probably go to 300 million though.
Well, it was listed at 296 million.
Okay.
But They brought them down. It was a whisper listing. What's a whisper listing?
So whisper, it's probably like an off-market or like a pocket type listing. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there that's desirable that gets sold before it ever hits the market.
Okay.
You know, so I always tell people, if you're looking for something, don't wait for it to hit the MLS. Go out there, talk to real estate agents that are in those markets that you want to be in. People sell stuff all the time, and it never hits a market.
Well, they bought this up. 8 acres. Go Jay-Z. Go
Awesome.
Beyonce.
Congrats to them.
$190 million.
Maybe we can go visit it one day.
Thanks for watching this episode. Now don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And we'll see you next time.